Good morning, students of class 9. We'll continue our lesson in history. Forest society and colonialism. We are doing that. Now, in our previous class, we have talked about 3.2, the fears of the people. Once they were driven out from the forest, only some communities were allowed to stay in the forest under one condition. They have to supply free labor as well as look after the forest. They have to pay high taxes, and they have to supply good also to the forest officials and British officials. So these were the things, and people were much worried. Other peoples have nothing for their livelihood, and people began to discuss. We have talked about this village forest. We have just now talked about the people who are allowed to stay in the forest under one condition, that they have to supply the free labor, taxes as well as goods. So these people were called village forest, and people began to discuss issues in the market as well as whenever there is a festival, the leaders used to gather and they used to discuss among themselves. Now we'll talk about other points of this lesson. Although there was no single leader, many communities lived in the forest or near the forest, but there was not a single good leader who can lead the people against the Britishers. So many people speak of Gundadhar. The people of various communities, they speak of one person who was a leader. The name of that leader was Gundadhar from Netanahar. Netanahar, the name of the place or the village is Netanahar. There Gundadhar lived as an important figure in the movement against the Britishers. Rebel against the British. So they were the people who wanted to rebel against the British, and they needed a good leader. And the people speak about one name, that is Gundadhar. Now, how did the rebellion against the British government unfolded? How it started, or what happened? So now, in 1910, mango boughs, bough means branches, mango bough, a lump of earth, a piece of earth, a chunk of earth, a lump of earth, chilies and arrows. They are related with them. You can see mango boughs, that is a natural forest or natural vegetation. They provided food. Lump of earth, they can cultivate their land to grow food crops. Chilies, the product from the land, and the arrows for their production. This signifies their society, how they live. Began circulating between villages. People were sent with these items: mango boughs, lump of earth, chilies and arrows. People were sent from one village to another village. What is the purpose of this? What it means? Number 4, these were actually the messages. These were actually the messages. A coded message, you can say that. Inviting villagers from other areas, the forest people, the dwellers, the tribal people, inviting villagers to rebel against the British, to speak against, to act against the Britishers. It was a message that was circulated among the villages. Number 5, every village contributed something to the rebellion expenses. Each and every village contributed something. They shared. They contributed something for the rebellion expenses. They required some expenses. And how these expenses were met, you can see there. The event unfolded one after another. One event leads to another, and that event leads to another. So Now number 6, markets were looted. They required expenses for rebellion, to rebel against. Markets were looted. Some of the volunteers, they went into the market, they looted the market. Houses of officials and traders were burnt. Schools and police stations were burnt and robbed, looted. They showed their anger because they were deprived of their livelihood. They were driven out of their forest. And even those who were allowed to stay under one condition, they were also much harassed. So markets were looted, houses of officials and traders, schools and police stations were burnt and robbed. Number 7. In some way, these people, the markets, officials, the traders, schools, police stations, the people of these areas, of these places were related, were connected, associated with the colonial state. That's why the people who supported, or the traders, whoever supported the British government or colonial government, their houses were burnt and looted. They were associated with the colonial state and its oppressive laws. Because of the oppressive laws and harsh conditions put up by the Britishers to the people of the forest, they made them, first they were worried, and that worry has led to the rebellion against the Britishers. Now how the rebellion or the opposing started from here. First they circulated the mango boughs, a lump of wood, chilies, arrows, and later on they united and they started taking the steps to oppose against the British government. Now what happened after this? Were they caught? Were they imprisoned? Or were they successful? What happened? We'll continue in our next lesson. This much for today. So thank you for watching. So I would like to advise you that you must rotate your mobile like this way and watch the video, so that this becomes very clear. Okay, I have already told you. Now you must rotate your video mobile while watching the video. Then you can watch. You can even copy it out. So that's all for today. We'll meet in the next class. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.